This episode of Accelerator TV has been brought to you by Bacardi Be Live 2009, coming to a city near you, featuring artists like DJ AM, Z-Trip, Mastercraft, Major Lazer, and more. For more information, go to bacardi.com/BeLive.
I used to get in trouble a lot. I feel like I'm a lot nicer now than I was then. At our local punk rock club in Providence, they had one night that was a dance night, and it just infuriated me and my friends. So we would go there and get really drunk and start fights and just cause mayhem in general. And because we were so upset that there were DJs playing and not live bands. In the 90s, I know if I heard something with like a house or techno beat to it or something, I was pretty much repulsed by it. DJ and I were both at DFA before there was a DFA. This is like late 90s, were you there? 99. You were there as early as 99. And at that time, there was really no crossover of like the indie rock world and the dance music world. For me, it was just becoming bored with the indie rock scene that I got launched full on into dance music. DFA was one of the pioneering things that brought indie audiences and dance music audiences together.
My appreciation or acceptance for dance music and loop-based music and four-on-the-floor stuff was something that was consistent, repetitive, and robotic.
Yeah, I feel like Kraftwerk was a big bridge for a lot of people because they were always accepted by like the indie rock world. I've always been influenced by things that were meant to sound futuristic. In the 80s, all it took was like dressing a certain way, putting on funny clothes that looked like, you know, sort of your spaceship uniform, playing synthesizers, you know, presenting themselves as machines and creating this music that they believed would be the future of music. It's funny, like on the production side, bands in the 60s that were making this kind of like far-out psychedelic music used the same studio production techniques, like putting a delay and reverb on a guitar instantly made it sound psychedelic and like otherworldly and futuristic. And it's still what we do in the studio. This is my Future Retro Revolution. It's a clone of the Roland TB303. It has a 16-step sequencer that runs in a circle, and it's probably my favorite synth right now. This is my trusty Theremin. I've had this for, I think, 12 years now. This is the pitch antenna. So the closer I put my hand to this, the higher the pitch. Pull your hand back, the lower the pitch. This is the volume antenna. If I touch it like this, there's nothing, you won't hear anything. As I pull it away, it gets louder. So when I want to do volume vibrato, my hand is going like this. For pitch vibrato, it's like this. I kind of get going back and forth, back and forth. And I do some like crazy cross hand kinds of things like that. I do a roll that's like this, that winds it up. And just generally, you know, playing it back and forth. Whereas people typically playing it would stand very close like this and just move in little increments. That, but not me. This is my Roland SH101, and this is like the synth of the Juan MacLean, basically. Because I am not a trained keyboard player, I've actually have a series of pieces of tape that tell me which notes to play. This is my Moog Voyager that generates all of our bass lines, and if you can afford $3,000 to make bass lines, this is the way to go.
Before I knew you, baby, I could have guessed you'd be this way. But it wouldn't stop my love. Now I'm in a familiar place. It looks the same, but something's wrong.
Healing without recourse. Wish I could undo the time. I was walking home alone, so dejected by my own
in this crossover of like indie people into the dance music scene, I still feel like there's this weird undercurrent of homophobia where it's a group of people who would consider themselves the most sort of like open-minded and liberal people and whatnot. But when things get too overtly gay, it seems to make them uncomfortable. In a disco song, like you're talking about, there's always like the songs going along, then they break out
Like
into
key change,
into the key
strings.
changes and the strings and stuff, and like what was the sort of stereotypical like, I don't know, gay part. Disco edits now are such a big thing, and basically what they are is they have been de-gayed. So you take a disco song, you take out the gay flourishes, so it just has like the sort of tough parts, and that's the disco edit.
Or even we were talking about lyrics the other day.
Yeah,
Trying
lyrics.
To write like a line and just trying to say what you feel. And
Yeah, just these very direct sexual lyrics, whereas in the indie sort of hipster world, you can't be direct like that. Like, you have to either employ irony or be really clever or that kind of thing. And we set guidelines of like, why don't we be as honest and sort of sincere about things in our personal lives as we can. Big reason why I quit my first and only band I was ever in, Six Finger Satellite, was because I was about to turn 30 and I figured that playing that kind of music was the thing, it was something for young people. Dance music, I feel like there's a tradition of older people. As people get older, they become more revered, in fact, and you can sort of keep going. But I don't know if I'll have, I'm in good shape. Maybe I could when I'm 60. You probably couldn't because you're in terrible shape.